She's jealous of you, and now it's obvious. It started off subtle, little comments here and there, the kind that don't sound like much unless you're really paying attention. Like when you walked into the room and her smile dropped for just a second too long, or when she complimented your outfit but followed it with something sharp, something that made the praise feel more like a warning. I noticed it. I always notice you. At first, I brushed it off. Told myself I was overthinking, that maybe she was just having a bad day, or I was seeing something that wasn't there. But then it kept happening. Every time I mentioned your name, and I mention it a lot, her tone would shift. Her eyes would narrow just a bit, and she'd suddenly find a way to steer the conversation in another direction. Like your name alone made her uncomfortable. Like even the sound of you brought something out in her she couldn't control. Jealousy. She used to be warm, easy to talk to. She'd ask me about everything, my dreams, my plans, my thoughts. But the moment you entered the picture, her questions turned into comparisons. Not loud, not direct, just different. Like when I told her about something sweet you did, how you made tea exactly how I like it without even asking, and she said, "Oh, she's really trying hard, huh?" As if effort was a trick. As if love shown so gently must be hiding something. But no, it's just who you are. And I know that now more than ever. She never said it outright, but I saw it. In how she started pointing out your flaws, little things she couldn't possibly know, just assumptions dressed up as concern. She seems a little too quiet. Do you really know her? I just want you to be careful. But that wasn't care. That was envy, wrapped in fake kindness and forced smiles. Because you shine. God, you shine. You carry yourself with this kind of softness that makes the world pause. You don't try to compete, you don't try to impress, you just are. And that's what threatens her. Because you walk into a room and don't need to be the loudest to be heard. You don't beg for attention, it finds you. You love without performance. And me? I feel safe around you in a way I didn't even know I was missing. For someone like her, someone who's always needed to be the center of every room, that kind of quiet grace is terrifying. Because you don't play the game. And still, somehow, you win the heart. Mine. The more she shows her jealousy, the clearer it all becomes. This isn't about you being wrong. It's about you being everything she pretended to be: calm, grounded, real. You're the woman who doesn't need to prove her worth because she already knows it. And that's rare. So now, I don't doubt what I feel anymore. I see it all for what it is. And I see you. Not just with my eyes, but with that deeper knowing, the kind that whispers, this one is different, this one is home. She could have welcomed you. She could have supported us. But instead, she chose comparison. She chose to wait on the sidelines, hoping for cracks in something that's already stronger than she'll admit. And yes, I tried to ignore it, tried to give her the benefit of the doubt. But there comes a point when the little digs start to cut deep, not just at you, but at me. Because I see the way she looks at you, not curious, not even cold, calculated. Like she's trying to figure out what it is I see in you. Trying to find a flaw, anything to prove to herself that what we have can't be real. But it is. It is real. And it's beautiful in the quietest way. I remember watching you once. You didn't even know. You were just laughing. Probably at something small I said. And I thought, this is what joy looks like when it's genuine. She saw it too. And I swear, her face shifted, not in anger, but in discomfort. Because people who perform don't know how to handle people who just exist honestly. You don't chase the spotlight and yet you're radiant. You don't compete and yet you keep winning hearts quietly, especially mine. She compliments you, but it's always rehearsed. She invites you, but the room changes when you arrive. She listens, but only enough to twist your words later. But I notice every pause, Every eye roll when you're not looking, every sharp edge hidden behind a sweet tone. And I won't ignore it anymore. Because this what we have is too rare, too sacred to let anyone touch with bitterness. Jealousy doesn't always scream. Sometimes it smiles. Sometimes it pretends to care. But love, real love, the kind I feel for you, it protects. You've never had to fight for my attention. Never had to perform. You just show up with your quiet confidence. And every time you do, I feel like I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. You give me peace. Not just romance, but stillness. A kind of love that doesn't demand anything except honesty. And I will protect that with everything in me. Let her whisper. Let her post. Let her watch from the corners. Because I'm not watching her anymore. My eyes are on you. It used to be her name I said without thinking. Her advice I leaned on. Her stories I remembered first. But now, it's you. It's your laugh that echoes when my world goes quiet. Your words I hold on to when I forget my own. Your presence that brings me back to myself. She thought knowing me first gave her the advantage. But you see me deeper. And that changes everything. She still wants the crowd. You just want me. And that difference is why I love you. So let her try. Let her smile through the tension. Let her pretend she's unfazed. Because I won't dim your light just to make her ego feel warm. I won't pretend not to see the truth. You're everything she's been pretending to be. And that truth? It's splendid. You, my love, are the reason I stopped looking back and started building something real. And if she can't stand the glow we've created, she should have thought twice before trying to cast a shadow. Because now, her jealousy isn't just visible, it's irrelevant. I chose you, not out of convenience, not out of timing, but because, in a world full of noise, you were the one who whispered, and I heard everything I ever needed to know. I chose you. And I'll keep choosing you, even on the days it would be easier to explain it all away, even when the noise around us gets loud, because you're the quiet I never knew I needed. And the more she tries to insert herself, the more obvious it becomes. She's not fighting for me, she's fighting for relevance. Not for love, but for position. Not for connection, but for control. But this isn't a battle she can win, because love isn't a trophy. And you're not a placeholder in someone else's unfinished story. You're the chapter I never want to stop reading. Every time she speaks about you, I feel the edges of her envy, the bitterness disguised as concern, the veiled comments masked as friendly advice. Just be careful, she says. But she doesn't know I've never been more sure of anything than I am of you. Your love is so gentle it could be missed if someone was too busy performing to feel. But I feel it. In the way you look at me like I'm not something to fix, but someone to understand. In the way your silence speaks louder than her noise ever could. In the way your presence makes even the most chaotic spaces feel safe. She doesn't understand that. She can't. Because she only knows how to be seen, not how to see. Only knows how to speak, not how to listen. She thought history would make her irreplaceable. But you made me realize that time doesn't equal depth. That someone can know me for years and still not touch my soul. While you, in moments, reached parts of me I didn't even know were waiting to be found. And that's the real reason for the jealousy. Because she can't mimic that kind of intimacy. It's not earned through performance. It's felt. It's real. And it threatens everything she thought made her enough. So now, she clings to moments, little memories we no longer share. She brings up the past like it's proof that she still matters. But love doesn't live in memories. It lives in presence. And you are my present, my peace, my place. Let her talk. Let her dig. Let her spiral, because while she's obsessed with being seen, I'm busy seeing you. Seeing the one who makes me softer, stronger, more honest. Seeing the way your love doesn't ask for attention, it creates it. The way your presence doesn't fight for space, it becomes it. You fill the room without trying. You fill me without asking. And I know that bothers her. Because you love like water, quiet, fluid, patient. And still, you reshape everything you touch. You reshaped me. Not with grand gestures or fireworks, but with consistency. With the kind of affection that doesn't shout, but stays. You stayed. Through the side eyes. Through the unspoken tension. Through the moments where it would have been easier to withdraw. You stayed. And every time you did, I fell harder. Not just for the way you love me, but for the way you love yourself. With grace. With humility. With that quiet strength that refuses to be shaken. So let her say whatever she needs to say. Let her tell herself whatever makes it easier to sleep at night. But I've stopped giving energy to the noise. Because I've seen what real love looks like, and it looks like you. Not polished, not perfect, but present, real, undeniable. And when she walks into the room now, trying to reclaim something that never truly belonged to her, I don't feel pulled anymore. I feel grounded, because you're next to me, and that's all I need. I don't know how to explain this part without getting lost in it. But being loved by you feels like waking up in a body that finally fits. Like looking in the mirror and seeing someone whole. You remind me that I don't have to be loud to matter. Don't have to be guarded to be safe. You make love feel easy. Not because it's without challenge, but because it's without confusion. I've never had to guess with you. Never had to wonder if I was too much, too quiet, too broken. With you, I am just enough. And that's why I stay. So when she tries again, and she will when she tries to pull me into conversations I no longer belong in. When she questions your presence in my life like it's up for debate, I won't defend. I won't explain. I'll simply take your hand, hold it, feel the warmth of what we've built, and walk away, because I don't fight battles that threaten my peace anymore. I don't chase the approval of people who can't clap for love that doesn't include them. And I sure as hell don't entertain jealousy when I've already found joy. She's jealous of you, and now it's obvious. But more than that, you're mine. And now, that's undeniable.